As I move through this process of healing my broken foot and ankle, I think I'm about 6 months out from the accident. I've been reflecting on things that I've learned, things that were really helpful for me. And one of them has been the study of resilience. In my Anusara, my yoga class for alignment last month, we did Anusara for resilience. And I introduced a lot of teachings I learned from Dr. Hanson. He wrote Rewiring Happiness and Resilient. And one of my favorite takeaways from his work was this, I always forget the name of this, letters put together in a word, and each letter represents a different word. So that word that you're thinking of in your head, yeah, that's the one I can't remember. And it's H.E.A.L, H-E.A.L. And so we did one letter a week in my class, and we put it all together, and it was really, really beautiful to share this with other people, because I've been doing it a lot and it feels really impactful to me. So I want to go through it with you. So H-E-A-L, so H is have a positive experience. Again, this is my interpretation of his work. So if you're curious, you can reach out with questions, or I suggest you also look into his work because it's really great. So H is have a positive experience. So that either means recalling a positive experience that you have had recently, or having a positive experience in the moment. So some of the positive experiences I think of is like sitting down at my mat in the morning when no one's around, or like drinking a really good cup of coffee or a cup of tea, or like a hug with a friend that felt really good, or like snuggling with my puppy, or like looking at a new spring flower, or like the moon's beauty or the sunset. And for me, the point is that these experiences don't need to be extravagant. It's not like I have to do, because I'm so, especially with Tyler still being injured, I'm not having like, I go on a vacation to Hawaii and it's like so amazing, although that would be amazing, but it's these really simple things that actually happen all the time that I miss. Okay, that's his whole premise, is from a evolutionary point of view, we are programmed neurally to notice the bad. And he talks about this as Velcro. We pay attention and we look out for the things that are going to be bad or a problem or threaten our survival. And we want to remember those because that can threaten our life, right? So we put those bad memories on the Velcro so we don't forget them. And then the pleasant things that we notice aren't as important that we remember, so we put those on cellophane and they kind of slide away. But now that we're not living in like a cave where our lives are at risk on the day, we still have this mindset where you go throughout the day, but and like I give the example often as teaching yoga. I've had so many people after class tell me how much they love my yoga classes, and I put that on the Teflon and it just slips away. I forget it so quickly. And then I've had a few comments over the years where people didn't like my class, and I remember those so well because I put them on the Velcro. So this is a process of helping us kind of release some of the stuff that we Velcroed and starting to rewire these happy memories so that they can be on the Velcro too, and we'll remember them. So H is have a positive experience. So you're just recalling it, and you're trying to recall it for a little bit longer than you normally would. I think we also don't allow ourselves to really feel pleasure. We just like keep moving on. So it's like, I'm just gonna think back to my coffee this morning and drinking it outside and feeling the sunshine and still seeing the snow, right? So I'm having a positive experience. And then that goes right into E. Enrich is what he calls it. I normally think of it expand. So now I'm going to take that same positive experience and I'm just going to be with it a little bit longer for like 10 or 15 seconds instead of like 3. So like I feel the sun on my skin. I was hearing the birds chirping. That felt so good. That was nice, you know, and just like letting myself be with that positive experience. My brain has a chance to send, for the neurons to send messages and be like, yeah, she had a positive experience. It's like that movie Inside Out, right? Like those little people inside your brain be like, let's save this one. And that's what we're doing. So And it goes through really quickly. So after you have a positive experience and then you enrich or expand that experience, then you're on A, or absorb. So this is like taking it in. Like, this is a positive experience. I want to remember this experience. Dr. Hanson talks about letting it sink into you. Like the rain is falling and it's sinking into your skin, and this positive experience is going to stay with me. And because I'm telling myself it's a positive experience, it's going to release hormones that go along with positive experiences like dopamine and serotonin. That's going to help the neurons fire better and find that track again of being able to be in a positive experience. And then L is the more complicated step. So we've done have a positive experience, expand or enrich that experience, and then absorb that experience. And then L is link that experience. So he says that you don't have to do L, you can just do H, E, and A. And he says just a few times a day, you know, like when you're in the morning, think of a positive experience, and at night, think of a positive experience. So you just get used to using that muscle. So L is link. So it's linking a positive experience with an experience that you don't feel is positive. So let's say one of mine, like you don't want to choose something that's too big and can be too overwhelming and spiral you out of your positive experience. So I'm going to do one with my kids, like my kids fighting or telling me they don't like me, or being really sad or something like that. Or this will be my example, like a little fight I have with my husband, okay? So I'll go through that, and I'm going to find a positive experience that correlates with the experience I'm having a problem with, my little fight with my husband. So I'll think of a positive experience that's happened in my recent past that was positive with my husband and I, right? Like maybe sitting outside on our porch together, reading our books, right? So then I'm going to think about that, and I'm going to expand it. Again, been spending a lot of time on the porch. I'm going to feel the sunshine, hear the birds, like feel my hand on his. I'm going to absorb it. I'm going to be like, that was really nice. It was really nice just to hang out and be with each other in the sunshine, reading and talking. I really enjoyed that. I got a lot out of it. That really, really was special to my heart. So I expanded it and I absorbed it. Then I'm going to link it. So then from that space, I'm going to think about the fight or the argument we had. And I'm just going to allow both of them to mingle together for like 10 or 15 seconds. Again, not long. And then I'll bring myself back to like the positive experience. And the idea is that neurons that wire together, fire together. So hopefully next time I get in a confrontation with my husband, instead of remembering the previous fight I had because I outgrew that fight is kind of linked to this positive experience now, so it lessens the charge of it. Okay, let me know if you have any questions. And just play around with it. Like, there's good stuff that happens to us all the time. There's good stuff that happens to me all the time. Little small things that I don't pay attention to. But the negative things that happen, I notice those so much more, and then I focus on them. So this is changing the perspective to start to notice the good things that are always already happening. It doesn't mean that bad things still won't happen. It's just we're switching our focus so that we can rewire the happiness in our brain. I hope this helped.